God says this is an urgent message only for you, and He is guiding my words right now because something deep, something sacred, something full of divine truth needs to reach your heart at this very moment. God says that Archangel Michael is standing beside you with his sword of light, and he is speaking with a voice that shakes the unseen realms. He says, "Don't skip this. I order you to open this right now." His voice is not angry, but full of heavy urgency, full of protective fire, full of the kind of seriousness that only appears when heaven sees something coming before you do. And this time it is about your son. This time the message carries a weight that heaven cannot allow you to miss because it is tied to the love you carry. The bond that God Himself placed inside your heart long before your child ever took his first breath. Archangel Michael says, "This is very serious because your son has been praying for you silently. Praying in ways he does not tell anyone. Praying in the quiet hours of the night when he feels something shifting, something approaching, something that will change paths, decisions, and destinies." God says your son has spoken your name in prayer more times than you know, more deeply than he lets you see, because he feels something in the spiritual world that you have not yet sensed fully. Heaven has heard him, and heaven is responding through this message meant only for you. God says soon your son will face a moment that requires your spiritual covering, your presence, your awareness, and your strength. This is not something to fear because God says nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe, protected, surrounded on all sides and covered by light that cannot be touched by darkness. But this message is meant to prepare your heart and awaken your spirit so that you can understand the next chapter that is unfolding. God says to trust Him. When you trust Him, nothing will shake you, nothing will break you, and nothing will take away what is meant for you or your son. Archangel Michael says he has been watching over your son closely like a guardian placed specifically for this season because something in your son's spirit has been calling for heavenly protection. Your son may not speak it out loud, but heaven heard the words that came from his heart. He has been feeling pressure, confusion, and a clear's throat sense of heaviness that he tried to carry alone. But he could not carry it without calling your name before God. He asked God to protect you, to guide you, to help you see what he cannot say. He asked God to give you strength because he feels that soon your presence, your words, your wisdom, your love will be needed in a way he has not needed before. God says your son is stepping into a spiritual moment, a shift in his path, something that was written long before he was born. But anything that is written in heaven also attracts attention in the spiritual world, both good and bad. And that is why Archangel Michael is speaking with urgency. He says your awareness is needed, your prayer is needed. Your presence is needed. Not because something terrible will happen. No. God says rest assured nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected and God Himself is watching over you. But because your support is a divine key that unlocks the protection around your son. God says the bond between you and your son is not an accident. It is spiritual, ancient, and blessed. God created that connection with intention because He knew that your son would need a mother or a father whose soul carries an anointing of protection. Someone whose prayer has the power to shift energies. Someone whose presence can calm storms. You are that person. You always were. And heaven is reminding you. God says your son has been facing something silently. A fear, a confusion, a worry, or a decision, and he has not been able to express it fully. He wants to speak but holds back. He wants to open up but hesitates. He wants to tell you something but waits for the right moment. And every time he tries to form the words, he feels that maybe you already have too much on your shoulders. Maybe he should not burden you. Maybe he should keep it inside. But heaven sees what he hides. Heaven sees the silent weight he carries. Heaven sees the nights he stayed awake thinking about his future, his life, his path. Heaven sees the moments he wondered if he was disappointing someone or failing someone. Heaven sees the times he felt lost, uncertain, or misunderstood. And heaven sees the love he has for you. Love that he doesn't always show. Love that he sometimes hides. Love that is deeper than you realized. God says your son is about to experience a moment that will reveal truth, clarity, and direction. But before that moment comes, he needs your spiritual alignment. Archangel Michael says this is serious because the energy around your son has been shifting. People around him are changing, moving, revealing themselves. Someone near him has been watching him with jealousy or confusion. Someone has said something behind his back, someone he trusted or believed in. Someone has been projecting negativity toward him without him knowing why. These energies have been weighing on him spiritually, not because they have power, but because he is sensitive in ways he doesn't fully understand. God says your son has a sensitive heart, a heart that absorbs emotions, energies, and words. Even when he acts strong, even when he pretends he is fine, even when he hides his pain behind silence or laughter, God sees the truth inside. And your son has asked God to watch over you because he doesn't want you to worry. He wants you to be safe. He wants you to be protected. His love for you is deeper than he has ever expressed. God says your son feels things in advance. He senses shifts before they occur. He can detect when something is off even when no one says anything. This is a gift, not a burden. But because he is still growing spiritually, he does not know how to handle it. And sometimes this sensitivity makes him anxious, unsure, or confused. Sometimes he feels like he has to carry everything alone. Sometimes he feels like opening up to you, but something stops him. But heaven has stepped in because the next chapter of his life needs clarity, and clarity comes through divine intervention. God says you are part of this intervention. God says very soon your son will enter a situation where he needs to make a choice. A decision that will affect his path. This decision is tied to something emotional, something personal, something connected to someone in his life or someone approaching his life. God says this situation does not bring danger but brings a lesson, a revelation, a truth that must be seen. And God needs you ready because your words will bring him peace. Your guidance will bring him clarity. Your presence will bring him strength. Heaven has chosen you to walk him through this moment. Archangel Michael says very soon something will move. Something will be revealed. Something will come into the light. Something that has been hidden around your son will become visible. Someone who has been pretending will show their true colors. Someone who has been speaking indirectly will show their intention. Someone who has been distant will suddenly appear. And someone who has been silent toward your son will suddenly communicate. All of this is part of a divine shift. And your son's prayer for you is what triggered the heavenly response. God says your son wants your happiness. He wants your stability. He wants your peace. He wants you to succeed. He wants you to feel loved. Even when he doesn't say it, he carries these desires in his heart. He wants to see you rise. He wants to see you blessed. He wants to see you protected. He wants to see you free from hurt, free from stress, free from worry. And because he feels something shifting, he prayed for you before praying for himself. God says this touched heaven deeply. This opened divine protection in ways you do not see yet. This changed the spiritual atmosphere around your family. This prayer is why the message is reaching you now. God says trust him. Trust the timing, trust the message. Trust the protection around your son. Trust that no matter what happens in the physical world, heaven is already ahead. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will attack what is yours. Nothing will enter your life without God's permission. You are safe, covered, guarded, and held by divine hands. Your son will soon experience a major emotional breakthrough. Something that has been bothering him will fall away. Something that has been confusing him will become clear. Someone who has been influencing him in a negative way will lose their effect. And someone he truly needs will enter his path bringing light, clarity, wisdom or support. This is not just for him. It is for you as well. Because God says your happiness and your son's happiness are spiritually connected. God says pray tonight. Even a short prayer is enough. Not a prayer of fear, but a prayer of trust. God says when you pray, he will remove every hidden negativity around your son. He will shield his steps, clear his path, and surround him with protection, so strong that no harm, no deception, no confusion can touch him. Archangel Michael says he is already standing beside your son with his sword drawn, cutting away energies that do not belong. He is guarding your son's dreams, his sleep, his thoughts, his emotions. He is ensuring that your son walks into the destiny heaven wrote for him. God says your son's future is blessed. Your son's path is protected. Your son's heart is watched over. And your son's prayer for you has awakened heaven. God says there is nothing to worry about. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are loved. Trust God. Pray to him. He is guiding every step. God says this message must reach you in this moment because the weight of what is happening around you cannot wait for another breath. Another delay, another hesitation. Archangel Michael is standing beside you and he is saying with a trembling authority, do not skip this. I order you to open this right now. This is very serious about your son. His voice is firm but filled with love, urgency, and divine clarity. He is speaking because something is moving in the unseen realm. Something connected directly to the heart of your son, to his prayers, to his silent tears, to the things he has been carrying inside but cannot express fully. God says your son has been praying for you deeply, intensely with a level of emotion he never showed openly. There is a reason behind this sudden spiritual stirring. It is because soon your life, your path, your direction, and your blessings are shifting in a way that directly affects him. His soul can feel the movement even if he doesn't speak of it. His spirit senses what the natural world hasn't revealed yet. And God says this message is reaching you because you must know that you are not alone. Your son is not alone, and none of what is happening is random. Heaven is watching everything closely. Your son's heart is connected to yours in a way that defies human explanation. Even when he hides his emotions, even when he acts strong, even when he acts distant, his spirit is constantly interceding for you. He knows you've been carrying weight, stress, silent pressure, and unspoken fears. In the quiet hours when no one sees him, he has asked God to protect you, guide you, and lift you. And God says those prayers have reached heaven with so much intensity that they are echoing right now in the spiritual realm. Archangel Michael is standing guard, fully armed, fully aware, fully alert. God says the seriousness of this message is not to scare you but to prepare you. Your son's prayers are not out of fear. They are out of love. He feels something shifting. He knows something is coming. Not something bad, but something big, something life-changing, something that will test your strength, but also reveal your divine protection. He has been sensing something you haven't fully noticed yet. Children, even grown ones, sometimes feel danger, spiritual movement, or emotional shifts before adults process them. God says his prayers are a shield around you, a barrier between you and what was planned against you. God says your son has been keeping something inside, something he doesn't want to burden you with, something he has been trying to solve on his own. There are worries he has carried silently, things about his life, his future, his dreams, and even choices he made. He wants you to be proud of him. He wants to protect you from disappointment or fear. He doesn't want you to think he is weak or struggling. But God says, I see everything your son hides. I hear every word he doesn't speak. I know every tear he doesn't show. I know every prayer he whispers. And God says what is coming soon is not to harm you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. This message is a reassurance, not a warning of danger. Heaven is not alerting you that something bad will happen. Heaven is telling you that something important is about to be revealed. Something connected deeply to your son's destiny and your own. God says your son's life is about to shift into a new direction. And his prayers for you are playing a major role in the divine alignment happening right now. There is a breakthrough coming, a moment where truth, clarity, healing, and new doors suddenly open. God says your son is entering a phase of growth, transformation, and spiritual elevation. His spirit is awakening. His heart is maturing. His understanding is deepening. And that is why he has been praying the way he has. Sometimes people pray more intensely when God begins repositioning them. Sometimes the soul senses the next chapter before the mind understands it. God says, your son's prayers are actually a sign that he is stepping into his purpose, moving into his season, and aligning with what heaven has prepared for him. But God also says something else. Your son is carrying a secret fear. A fear he does not want to share. A fear that he believes would burden you. This fear is not about physical danger. It is about emotional pressure, personal uncertainty, and a responsibility he feels he must fulfill but does not know how to. He has been trying to handle this alone. He has been trying to solve it without worrying you. God says, I will not allow him to carry this alone anymore. I am sending divine help. I am lifting this weight. Archangel Michael says the reason he told you not to skip this message is because your presence, your faith, and your prayers are needed right now. You don't need to worry. You don't need to panic. You don't need to fear anything. But you do need to spiritually stand with your son. You must pray for him as he prays for you. You must trust God for him the way he trusts God for you. God says your son is entering a path where his calling will begin to unfold, and your support emotionally, spiritually, and energetically is extremely important. God says you must know that your son's spirit is pure. Even in moments of confusion or struggle, he has a good heart. He means well. He wants to do right. He wants to honor you. He wants to see you happy and worry-free, but he is at a crossroads where he needs divine strength to move forward. He might not show it on his face, but his soul is crying out for direction, protection, and clarity. This is why his prayers for you have increased, because he wants God to lift you so you can lift him. God says there is a blessing being prepared for your son. Something he has waited for. Something that will shift his path. Something that will straighten the crooked places he has walked through. Something that will restore what he lost, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Something that will give him hope again, strength again, purpose again. But before this blessing arrives, God needed you to know that your presence matters more than you realize. Your prayers carry authority. Your words carry power. Your love carries healing. God says your son has angels assigned to him. Archangel Michael is the leader of this divine protection, and he is not leaving your son's side. He has been guarding him from dangers. Dangers he didn't even know were near, dangers he walked past unknowingly. Dangers planned against him by people who didn't have pure intentions. But none of those plans succeeded. None of those intentions touched him. None of those negative energies reached him. Because the hand of God is upon his life, God says your son will rise. He will overcome. He will step into his blessings. But he needs stability, love, encouragement, and reassurance. He needs to know he is not alone. And you, as guided by God, are the anchor that keeps him grounded. Your love, your presence, your prayers, these are the things that give him strength even when he doesn't admit it. God says, your son is fighting silently, but he is strong, capable, protected, and destined for greatness. Soon, something important will happen. A conversation, a truth, a moment of honesty between you and him. He may open up. He may reveal something he has been holding in. He may express something that surprises you. Be patient. Listen. Support him. God says this moment will bring healing for both of you. It will bring clarity. It will bring new understanding. It will deepen your bond. It will shift the atmosphere in your lives. God says to you, you are safe. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. I am with you. Trust me. Pray to me. I am guiding everything. Your son is under my protection. His future is in my hands. His destiny is secure. His path is blessed. His prayers for you are heard. And your prayers for him will be answered. God says the love you carry for your son is not accidental. It is divine. And heaven is wrapping both of you in protection, grace, and strength. Pray tonight with faith. Mention his name. Bless his path. And God says, watch what I do next. God says that before you even opened this message, heaven already saw the hesitation in your heart, the worry that you sometimes try to hide, the quiet fears you never speak about, and especially the silent prayers you send to God about your son. God says He has heard every word you whispered, every thought you carried, and every tear you never let anyone see. And today, at this exact moment, God is stepping forward with a message that carries an urgency unlike anything before. Archangel Michael stands beside this message and he says, "Do not skip this. Do not look away. I order you to open this right now. This is very serious about your son." And when Archangel Michael speaks like this, it means there is a divine shift happening around your family. Something God wants you to know. Something your soul has been sensing, something connected to your son that heaven has been preparing to reveal gently, safely, and with divine protection wrapped around every detail. God says that your son has been praying for you more than you know. There is a depth in his heart that he hides from the world. A weight he carries quietly, an ache he does not want to trouble you with. He thinks of you constantly, even in moments when he seems distant. He loves you more deeply than he expresses. And God says your son has been speaking to heaven for you, yes, for you. He has been asking God to protect you, to keep you safe, to remove pain from your path, to guide your steps, and to bring light around your home. He has been fighting battles inside himself. But instead of asking for help for his own struggles, he has been asking for blessings over your life. God says this is the purity of your son's soul. He loves you beyond words. And heaven recognizes that love is something sacred. God says your son is praying for you because soon your life is stepping into a season that he has sensed before you did. Your son feels change is coming. He may not have told you this, but he has been feeling something shifting around you. Blessings rising, protection strengthening, a divine door about to open. There is something he knows without knowing how he knows. Something he feels without having the words to explain it. God says your son's intuition has been awakened and heaven is guiding him gently through what is coming next. He has felt an urgency in the spirit realm, and this is why he has been praying for you with such intensity. Archangel Michael says that your son has been carrying a burden in silence. A heavy emotion tied to fear of losing you. Fear of something going wrong. Fear that if he does not pray for you now, heaven might not hear him. But God says, "Tell my child nothing will go wrong. You are safe. You are protected. I am with you." God is surrounding your family with a shield so bright that even the darkest intentions cannot cross it, Michael says that there was a moment recently, a night when your son felt something spiritual pressing on him and he lifted your name to heaven. He didn't tell you, but God heard him. And that prayer is what triggered this divine message today. God says something has been happening behind the scenes. Something involving your son's emotional journey, his spiritual awakening, his sense of worry and his hope for you. He has been feeling the weight of changes in your destiny and he doesn't want you to worry even though he himself has been worried for you. God says this is the heart of your son. Protective, loyal, deeply connected to you. And heaven is responding to his prayers by surrounding you with angels. At this very moment, there is something your son has been afraid to speak about. God says he is worried that he might disappoint you or that his struggles might hurt you or that his emotional battles might burden you. But God wants you to know that none of this is meant to harm you. Instead, this is meant to bring healing. Your son is entering a transformation spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Something that will shift his life path and bring him into a place of strength he hasn't felt in a long time. God says your son is not lost. He is not alone. He is not falling. He is in transition. And this transition feels heavy to him because he is growing beyond what used to hold him. Your son feels responsible for so much. He carries the weight of expectations he has placed on himself and the fear of failing you in any way. God says, I am holding him. I am guiding him. I am cleansing his path. He is my child and he is safe. Your son may be going through an inner storm, but God is already calming it. His prayers for you are being answered even as you read this message. God says that soon your son will reveal something. Not to hurt you, not to shock you, but because his heart will be ready to open. He will tell you what he has been feeling. He will tell you what he has been fearing. He will tell you what he has been hoping. And that conversation will heal both of you. This is why heaven says this moment is serious, not dangerous, not frightening, but important. This is a turning point for your relationship with your son. A moment when old misunderstandings fade and new understanding rises like light. Archangel Michael says, your son has been asking God to remove certain people from your path, to protect you from unseen harm, to guard you from betrayal or emotional pain. He loves you so much that he would rather suffer silently than let anyone disturb your peace. And God says because of his prayers, I am removing what is not meant for you. I am clearing your path. I am blessing your home. Your son is protected. You are protected. Your family line is protected. God says that a divine shield has been placed upon your home. The spiritual pressure your son felt recently was not danger. It was the shift that happens when blessings prepare to arrive. Some blessings feel heavy before they feel light. Some miracles announce themselves through discomfort before peace takes over. And your son has been feeling the early vibrations of this miracle. God says that soon your son will see a change in you. Arise in your strength, arise in your peace, arise in your blessings. This is why he is praying so earnestly. He wants you to be safe as you enter your next season. He wants you to be happy. He wants God to cover you. And God says his prayers are powerful. His prayers are heard. His prayers are opening the heavens over you. There is something else heaven wants you to know. Your son has been guided by angels without even realizing it. There were moments when he almost broke. Moments when he almost gave up. Moments when he felt lost inside himself. But Archangel Michael placed his wings around him. Your son survived things he didn't talk about. He overcame things you never saw. He fought internal battles silently. And he won even when he thought he was losing. God says your son's strength is returning. His clarity is returning, his purpose is returning. And God says your son is stepping into a destiny that is connected to you. You are the spiritual pillar of the family. Your prayers are what kept the home alive. Your faith is what kept the light burning. Your love is what kept your son safe even in his darkest hour. God says you do not know how many times your prayers saved him, protected him, lifted him, and brought him back. Your son feels this. Even if he doesn't say it, he knows you are the reason he is still standing, and that is why he prays for you with such intensity. He wants God to protect you the way you protected him. He wants heaven to guide you the way you guided him. He wants your path to be safe so he can finally breathe. God says that what is coming for you is not harm, not fear, not loss, but restoration, healing, stability and miraculous elevation. Your son senses this and this is why he prays. Soon, very soon, something beautiful will shift between you and him. A closeness, a deeper understanding, a strengthening of love. And God says, rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Your son is safe. Your home is safe. You just have to trust me and pray to me and stay open to my guidance. A beautiful change is coming. God is speaking with a trembling softness that moves through the quiet corners of your spirit. And he says, this moment is not ordinary. This moment is not random. This moment is not something you stumbled into by chance. He says, this message has been chasing you, searching for you, waiting for you because something deep, something sacred, something tied to the heart of your own child has reached the heavenly gates. God says, your son has whispered a prayer so powerful, so full of faith, so full of love that even Archangel Michael paused, turned, and listened to it with intensity. And now the heavens are opening with urgency because this message is meant for you and only you. Archangel Michael says, he has been standing near your son, protecting him, shielding him, guiding him, surrounding him with a light that cannot be dimmed by any shadow. He says, your son called out to heaven with a voice that shook the spiritual realm, and the angels heard his prayer before he even finished speaking. Michael says, this is serious because your son's prayer was not a casual request. It was a plea that came from the deepest place in his heart. It was about you. It was about something he saw in you, something he felt for you, something he wants heaven to bless for you before a certain door closes and another one opens. God says your son is not afraid. He is not worried. But he is aware of something spiritually shifting around you. He has felt your weight even when you tried to hide it behind your strength. He has seen your silent battles even when you said you were fine. And so he prayed not out of fear, not out of weakness, but out of love so immense that heaven could not ignore it. God says, your son's prayer was like a light rising in the darkness. And the heavens said, send this message immediately. Do not let them delay. Do not let them scroll away. Do not let them miss this. Michael steps forward and says again, don't skip this. I order you to open this right now. His voice is not angry. It is protective. It is fierce, but in a way that guards your heart, not wounds it. He says the situation is serious not because something terrible is happening but because something divine is unfolding that requires your awareness. Your trust, your readiness. He says your son's prayer activated a shift around your life that you must not ignore. God says your son prayed for your peace because he feels your storms even when you smile. He prayed for your protection because he senses the spiritual winds blowing around you. He prayed for your victory because he knows how long you've been fighting silently. Your son carries a spiritual sensitivity that is beyond what you imagine. He knows when you're hurting even when you don't say a word. He knows when your heart feels heavy, even if your face looks calm. He knows when something is weighing on you. Even if you try to bury it deeply, God says He has seen your silent tears. Your hidden worries, the moments when you sit quietly and ask yourself how you will make everything work, how you will hold yourself together, how you will stay strong for those you love. He has seen you carry responsibilities that most people could not hold for even a day. He has seen you walk into situations that would have broken others. Yet somehow you kept moving, kept holding on, kept believing despite everything you endured. God says your strength has been supernatural even when you didn't feel strong. Your resilience has been divine. Even when you felt like collapsing. Heaven says your son saw all of this. He felt it spiritually, deeply, instinctively. And his prayer rose to heaven like a glowing flame. Michael says, your son's prayer included a request for your restoration. He asked heaven to return what was taken from you emotionally, financially, spiritually, and mentally.